All right, we have a special video for you today. Toxic Tulip, a regular here on the channel, has decided to submit us some Bronze 1 Torbjorn gameplay. It looks like the map was Arctic Peninsula, and the description says, I think I did okay, but could have done better. But it was my second game of the day, and I have not played O's in a while. Tips on better locations to put my little guy out. Your little guy? So your turret, okay. Also, love your videos. Aw, thank you. Alright. So you need help putting your turrets in better locations. Well, I would have started by taking the left high ground. I don't hate that spot. I probably would have put it a touch further down on the stairs, simply for the sake of more of the bottom of the turret could be shielded, but it can still see over the top of that stair line. Because just like with your character, you want to minimize and maximize, you know, damage out, damage in. So minimize the damage you take while maximizing the damage you put out. That one you kind of just tossed out, but you're in the middle of a team fight. I would have chunked it further off to the side instead of in front of me. So they have to focus their attention beside you as well as on you. They have to choose turret or you, not turret and you. Decent shots with your left click. Good shot, actually. Oh, you're just kind of... Okay. So one thing you did there is you stood in and took a lot of that Junkrat spam. You didn't really move from that corridor. And one thing that Junkrat thrives in is spamming into a small enclosed area. Fan out a little bit to the right of the point, or even up left on the high ground. Don't stay clumped up right there in an easy to hit spot, and just have at it. Here, you can toss your turret out. You're probably not really going to get anything with it till your team gets back, but it'll at least give you something till you have teammates. Alright, so here's where I would be looking to immediately drop turret right behind your Orisa. Because that turret now is not doing anything, it's out of the fight, but it's off cooldown. So you could actually put it out. No, yeah, I saw that, and I commented that. Easy there, gotta work on that aim a little. Let that get away from you. That was panic aim, because you had pretty good aim earlier. Get aggressive, hit someone, trigger the explosion. Your turret's doing work. The turret's the best player on the field right now. Sheesh. Alright. It looks like your team is taking the point. I would not have wasted your overload there. On a 10-second cooldown, you may get it before they come back, but it's such a valuable tool. It gives you additional tankiness, overhealth. It reloads 6 ammo. It makes you shoot faster. I would be looking to reposition your turret. Alright, let's actually take a pause. So in this situation, we are right here. Okay. The team fight is over here. Your turret is still over here. So, to start this team fight, there's one of two ways you could play this. You could have went with the more aggressive turret up here. Might get shot out pretty quick, but it's also going to be getting damage. Damage equals farming ults. Farming ults means you win the game. Additionally, you could have also positioned it somewhere over here. Because over here, it could actually be shooting some people through this doorway. But it also has good sightline of the point. That's just one thing to keep in mind when you're playing Torbjorn is initial turret placement is one thing, but you've got to keep that turret moving with you through the fight. Bro calling out the only huge mistake I made, Sag. I'm not calling you out. I'm teaching. Alright. Alright, I would look to ult. I would look to ult before your team dies. There you go, good. Be sure to spread it out, though. They don't do additional damage by stacking them up. So spreading them out is significantly more beneficial. You cover more area and you don't... it's not like it does less damage. 2 of them on one spot does not do 2 times the damage. It's actually just a waste of potential ultimate value. So that's one thing to keep in mind with Torbjorn. Spread your Coom out. Alright, let's see how you play this. Your team's taking the low ground. One thing you gotta remember too is that you throw your turret. So you don't always just have to look down and toss it in front of you. You could have tossed it up on that left high ground and then ran through to point with your team to where they have to worry about you from 2 different angles. You do need to work on the accuracy a little bit. You're struggling a little in the aim department. You're just kind of going willy-nilly. Probably also should have focused on shooting the Junkrat tire instead of turreting it, but it's alright. Your team won the objective. Your Alari is doing pretty good at keeping your cow up, so at this point, just get on back to point and see if you can't make sure you keep that. I don't hate using your E out of spawn, your overload. I did mention that it's a big ability with like a longer cooldown, but sometimes getting back to the team fight is just so valuable. Decent shots on the JQ. Aim looked a little better there. I know you're playing on controller, so some of these characters might be a little tougher to hit. And that's, you know, that's preference. Probably wouldn't throw the turret right there in the middle of the point. They can just shoot it pretty easy, but it didn't get destroyed, so it got value. Actually just kind of dumb. I don't know why they didn't delete your turret. There you go. Decent round, decent round. Takeaways from 1 round. Work on that aim a little. And turret placement and keeping your turret placed. Because as the team fight moves in places, so should your turret.
Ready for battle.
Alright. Well, let's see how the second round goes. Alright. So good spots for your turret here. Let's see where you place it, and then let me make you some recommendations. Alright, good turret spot. That was actually going to be my first choice. So we'll take a quick pause. A couple spots I like your turret here. Of course, like I mentioned, the one you're at right now, that's a good one. Because, like I said earlier, minimum damage incoming to it, maximum damage output are 2 things you need to look for. You yourself should be careful of this Widow that just shot at you. But the only people that can see your turret currently is this Reinhardt. And unless he wants to waste his fire strikes on your turret, he can't shoot it. It gets free value at him and anyone that pushes at point. A little more aggressive of an option would have been if you would have went in here and to the right. You could either put it right here between these 2, because unless they're way back there or on point, they're not going to be able to see it. Or I also like here, because, again, cover, and as they push up to you on point, they get hit by it. Try different spots, get creative with it, try unique things even if they sound stupid, because that's how some of the best turret positions are found, is just people trying things. You might find the next new turret spot. Alright, switch back to first person. Alright. I like you taking the low ground here and hiding behind this cover. Be careful peeking out, because again, they have a Widow. She did get a range nerf, but at that range, I'm pretty sure she could still one-shot you to the head. I don't think her range nerf is going to matter there. At this point, now that your team has taken the point, again, look to relocate your turret, because the more you relocate the turret, the more they have to keep guessing. If they know turret is still here, they can send someone to focus it pretty easy. But, considering that your team won the point, and they had to regroup, you could have put a cheeky turret right here on this ramp where they can only see the top right edge of it. But look at that. Like I mentioned with your turret on the stairs earlier, The top of the turret can still see over this. The turret's still shooting that lane. Or, right here, even, as they push up, this one has less area coverage unless someone just darts to point. But again, they have to turn, they have to focus. That takes their attention away from you directly and opens up plays because they have to respect the turret. Turret's not as strong as it was. It did get a 3 damage per shot nerf, but I mean, it's still pretty strong, and it will kill you pretty quick if you don't respect it. Yep, that Widow missed the headshot, so I like that you're playing cover, being careful. Get shots in on the Rhine. Oh, you had a good chance to kill him. Alright, again, work on that aim a little bit. Alright, Widow, you heard her grapple up, so be careful. So, because of where your turret is, your turret actually has not gotten any value for most of this fight. That's an aggressive reposition, but honestly I like it better than where your turret was. Where you placed it initially is a good place to start the fight, but as your team has point, you want your turret somewhere where it can get value. Alright, you're down to support, so play it safe. You see the Junkrat. Do not engage him unless you're going to pop your overload and use your shotgun. Alright, they use Luciole. I would look to throw your Molten Core out. Spread it out a little more, but that was a pretty good ult. You got the Torbjorn, or not the Torbjorn, the Junkrat tire, and somehow you got the Moira too. I don't know what she ended up doing. Pretty good time to ult, pretty good place to ult. Again, just focus on spreading out a little more. But decent Torbjorn play so far. And it looks like your team is just going to absolutely wash here. They did get a touch. There you go. I don't hate this turret spot because your team's down. They're going to be pushing up and moving around point. Just keep shots in. Force that Rhine out. Oh, you could have shotgunned him to the face. There you go. Shotgun him. Hang around the pylon. Alright, pop your E. Pop your E for the health. And the ammo. Focus on using your shotgun when they're that close. It's going to be a little easier to hit because you're not trying to shoot one projectile right into someone. You're getting a spread of projectiles. Yes, if you're not hitting a full shotgun hit, your primary fire is going to be doing more damage. But when your primary fire is not hitting anything, you're doing 0 damage. So don't be afraid to use that shotgun a little more up close. Alright. Going with the same turret placement. They do have a Hanzo. I would, get off of the high ground. They're probably going to take your turret out pretty quick if they have any semblance of a brain. Oh, her ult got blocked. Somehow they have not shot your turret once. But your turret's also not getting a ton of value because, again, let's take a quick pause. Alright. Here's your turret. It is getting some shots off because that Moira's to the right. But had you dropped your turret over here, where your soldier is, you can see all of their team. You really have to pay attention to where your turret is and where the enemy team is Torb. But again, you said you're new to Torb. That's what you had told me, so let's let it play out. I think you guys still win this, surely. Your turret did get destroyed. You do almost have another ult. Your team is actually cleaning up pretty well. Do you even have to get back to point, or do you just win? Okay, our Hanzo decided. Okay. Takeaways. Aim is something that comes with practice and time. Torbjorn is a projectile hero, so he's a little awkward to aim with. The shotgun's not too hard to aim with because, again, they're just right up on you. You just point and click. The primary fire can be a little awkward to aim at range because it has bullet drop and travel time, so you kind of have to lead, and sometimes you have to aim a little above them, etc. That one will come with experience. Just keep playing Torbjorn. Practice that aim. It'll get better. The most important takeaway I can give you today, focus on initial turret placement. You had pretty decent initial turret placement. You got into the fight, but once the fight shifts, remember to move that turret based on where the fight is going to be. And I can give you specific spots like I had mentioned on that map, but a lot of it is just use your brain. What cover do I have, but where my turret can also see a significant amount of where the team fight is happening? Just use that rule of thumb and it'll work out for you. I promise you'll improve.